Hi girls, my name is Sasha. I'm 20 years old and I'm now living in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, but I'm originally from Ukraine. So this will be my story of coming to America, my experience, to see if anybody can relate. I'm going to redo the whole thing because I just spent about an hour talking about nonsense, completely losing track of what the storyline was, and I absolutely messed up my makeup. I was supposed to do a get ready with me, get to know me. It was neither. Now that I feel like an absolute clean slate, let's start over. So I moved to America when I was 17 years old. It was June 10th, 2022. We're currently on February 12th, 2025. Always been in Florida. I have traveled to Washington, D.C. and North Carolina thanks to my American mother. It's pretty interesting the people that I've met in my adventure. It's a very gentle word to call it an adventure. It's been a lot of struggle. It's been a lot of loss, grief. I moved to America when I was 17, as I said, and I moved here with my mom. My dad stayed in Ukraine because men couldn't leave, but he wouldn't anyway. He was a volunteer and he was volunteering for our Ukrainian army up until he passed away when I was turning 18. My mom and I came here to America, and it was very hard for her specifically because she didn't know English. I knew English obviously before I came here, and it was a lot easier for me to adjust, but it was not for her. The woman that I mentioned before, my American mother, we met her because the neighbor of the person we were living with, she was talking about my mom and I as the two Ukrainian women who came to America at her gym. And another woman, my American mother, overheard her and ended up offering my mom and I a job at her house. Obviously, when you first come to America, you don't have the ability to work and make money legally. So we went another legal way of doing work for cash. We were plucking weeds in Florida in 102-degree weather. Outside in the garden, just sitting there like plucking weed. And you can imagine the depression state is on another level for my mom at the time. She doesn't speak a language. She had a great life in Ukraine. She had a husband, she had a family, she had a house, a car, everything. Now we're in a different country plucking weeds in 102-degree weather outside for somebody else. And because it was very, very, you know what? I did this mistake the last time I was filming. I was using my camera as the mirror. I'm not making the same mistake. You know what? If I learned anything in life, it's to learn from your mistakes. God damn. So fast forward 3 months after we plugged those weeds and made some money with that, and also by cleaning houses. You know how it goes when you come to America. You lower yourself down as much as you can. You start from the very bottom and then you climb your way up. So this is what my mom and I did. We were cleaning houses, toilets, plucking weeds, babysitting, dog sitting, doing anything and everything we could to make some sort of money. However, on my 18th birthday, my dad had a stroke, and it was a hemorrhagic stroke. It's when the blood is released into your brain. And compared to a regular stroke, it's a lot more deadly and a lot more harmful to your brain and your body. We thought he was gonna survive in the beginning, and my mom left the country. I bought her a ticket and she flew back, and it took her 3 days to get from Florida to Ukraine to our house. He died right after my birthday, and at that point, I was now 18 years old, living with an 87-year-old. I ended up moving in with our neighbor. She took me in. I didn't have to pay rent, but I was still working. I was working at a restaurant. I used to cry myself to sleep every night. I would literally bawl my eyes out every single day for I think 3 months. And by March, I made enough money to where I could afford to get a real estate license. And my dad had a brokerage in Ukraine that I used to work for since I was 13 years old. So I was like, you know what? There's money in real estate. It's something that I know. It's something that I know I can do. So why not just do it? I ended up coming to Boca Raton office for Keller Williams and absolutely falling in love with it. In between all of that, I was also doing college classes. When I lost my dad, I was going to college. I was working as a server, And at that time, I already went through the breakup with my boyfriend, whatever situation. It was just, you know, when I look back at it, I'm like, how was I doing it? I did it somehow, made it out. So thanks for that, Sasha. I actually ended up dropping out of college because they were taking way too long with processing my immigrational documents for my new semester. Ended up trying to get me to pay for the tuition, and it was just way too much. I'm an out-of-state student, so if you don't know, in Florida, that's like triple the normal tuition amount. I'm doing a lot of yapping today, which I'm not used to, so let me take this moment of silence while I'm doing my lip stain. This is as soon as you take it off, and this will stay on for pretty much the entire day. Now let's get to my actual favorite part, which is my hair. Don't come for me, I don't know how to pronounce this. It's a hair oil for my ends, and then the Kerastase elixir. It's so good. Honestly, this video was more so for myself to reflect back on my journey and how far I've come and how far people I'm around have come. Thank you so much. You can subscribe to see more, and I'll see you in the next video.